Right now, someone is giving up on their dreams, but on the other hand, someone else is becoming successful. Most people give up on their dreams at this exact moment on their journey that they should never have quit. But very few people are willing to push through because they understood a cycle that changes everything. What if I told you that your biggest failure is the ticket to your success? Stay with me because what I'm about to share with you flip everything you think you know about winning. Hi, today I want to talk about the cycle of success. Whether you are aware of it or not, we all go through this cycle no matter what. This cycle consists of 5 phases. So understanding these phases will change the way you see every challenge in your life. Let me show you exactly how this process works. So to do that, I have drawn something on paper so that you can easily understand the big picture and easily understand how exactly it works. As you can see right here, this is not a straight line. This is actually like this. So this cycle consists of 5 phases. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and finally phase 5. So it all starts from this point. So this is you, this is me as well. So actually this is everyone who wants to achieve their goals and their dreams. So we all have some goals and some dreams in our minds, and we are trying to achieve those goals and those dreams. So what we are going to do is that we are going to try those dreams. We are going to try to achieve those dreams. So based on our logic, so we expect that if I try to achieve my goals and my dreams, I should go straight into the target. This is how our brain works. We think that if we try, we're gonna get straight into the success or into the target. But what happens is we actually go this way through failure. So it is very rare that if you try something and you go straight into success, unless you have a very easy goal, which is something different. But most of the time you are not going to get into target very easily. So what happens is you try, after a few attempts you encounter a very, very painful failure, which means you are going to fail. So probably at this point you might want to learn a new skill, and then once you get to this point, which is the second phase of this process, you are struggling with that skill. It is hard to learn that skill. This is where the failure comes in. So this failure lead us into some learning or some lessons or some principles that we are learning through this failure. So this failure causes us to learn some principles. So in this phase, which is the third phase of this cycle, we understand that, this is not what I had expected, and this is not going to be easy to achieve. So this is the most difficult phase of all among all of these phases. A quick pause here. By the way, if you found this video valuable so far and you like this sort of content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because I am dropping videos every single week. So make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss my videos. Thank you so much. So back to the video. Because this is the phase that you question everything. You ask yourself very, very bold questions. You You even question your existence. This is where it is very painful, because those lessons are so painful. That's why most people are going to quit. This is where people are going to be divided into two groups. Some people who quit and the other who do not quit. So the people who quit, so we don't need to talk about that, so they quit. And then what happens is that those people are going to try something else, which means that they go through the exact same process, and once they get here they quit again, and then they're going to start again the other process, and they keep doing this until, unfortunately, until they die. So but we have some other people who do not quit, and so these people enters the fourth phase of this cycle, which is improve. So in this cycle they improve. They would say that, okay, my mindset was not good, so they change their mindset. They update their habits, they update their strategies, everything. So after a very, very long period of time reflecting on their mistakes and on their errors, they finally get into success, which is the fifth phase of this cycle. So now in this phase, something very interesting happens. You think that once you get here, then you are successful. But what happens is that when you get into this point, you are going to come up with new goals and new dreams. So now once you get to this point, you have new goals to achieve, which means that the same exact process are going to be repeated again, and you go through the exact same process until you get to this point. Once you get to this point, again you are going to generate new goals and new dreams, and this cycle actually is endless. This is endless cycle. So that means that every successful people go through this cycle multiple times, which means sometimes they are in phase 5, sometimes they're in phase 3, sometimes they're in phase 4, sometimes they're in phase 1. So it means that wherever you are, it is absolutely perfect. The only thing is that you should never be quitting. If you are in phase 1, try to get to phase 2. If you are in phase 2, try to get into phase 3. If you are in phase 3, try to get in phase 4. Now I have a question here. So the question is, where am I in this cycle? So where am I? And also where you are in this cycle. I want you to comment your answer, and I'm going to tell where I am in this cycle. So I am in this point. I'm in the learning phase, which means it is so much painful for me, and I am constantly reflecting on my mistakes and my errors every single day, and it is so painful. So now I want you to know where you are in this cycle. Comment below, and I'm more than happy to see where you are. As you saw, that was the cycle of success. But here's the misconception that we most have. We think that success is a destination, but it is not. It is a process. It is a journey. So, and that means that wherever you are on your journey, that is absolutely perfect. So the catch is that we must be trying to get to the next level instead of repeating the process over and over again. So that's pretty much it. By the way, before you go, if you found this video valuable, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because I drop video every single week, so make sure to subscribe. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.